You have talked previously in your previous conversations about the pros and cons of holding immovable assets. Could you elaborate what the pros and cons are for the audience to hear?
If you think about, just take most of the buildings that were put up in the city center by people. If now, after about so many years, 20, 30 years, those buildings are definitely old. And they cannot, the people want to rent, they cannot rent. They're looking for new buildings.
Newer buildings.
So now most of the buildings which were put up by schemes, at that time they were good, they were offices. Today you walk onto them, they're no longer offices, they are just small shops. All of them have been turned to markets. Big, nice buildings, but now it's become market. So the returns are very low. Yet in the balance sheet, you're showing that you have a building. So it becomes a very big challenge putting all your money in the immovable asset. Maybe if you had it in deposits, it would be much better. The principal is preserved. But now you find with number of years of holding those buildings, they have now become not very, very useful to you. Yeah.
And there's also the issue of liquidity, I imagine, if you want to turn the asset into cash.
And again, normally, yeah, if you're a retirement scheme and you want to turn that building into cash, the returns, the sale price is very low, unless you're selling the land, if it's in a good place. Otherwise, you find that the returns, you cannot turn it immediately into cash, and it becomes a challenge if you're running a scheme.
And that also applies to
a good example would be Kenya Railways have so many buildings, but they had serious liquidity problem. It was building rich, but cash starved. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And that also applies to the individual.
Yes.
When you invest in real estate, if you need the cash urgently, it may take a bit of time.
For an individual, even if you're unwell and you have buildings, you can't turn it to cash immediately.
Yeah, you can't pay your medical bills.
So it doesn't really help at times.
Yeah. So that we need to highlight that disadvantage of real estate and not to say that you can't have investments in real estate, but just make sure that it's in the right proportion to your other investments.